You're such an asshole.
So somebody had sent this to me, and it was two things. One, it's an article from 2021, so it's a couple of years old. Never seen it before, and it must have made the rounds with the title like that. And the other thing, it was all linked to like the Daily Mail and the New York Post. Which, if you guys didn't know, I always try to be accurate. And there's a huge industry out there where, like, OMG, shot. It's the Jerry Springer of the internet world, like the Yana Hawking. I don't listen to anything from Yana Hawking because she's a fraud and she's lying. It's like, OMG, I sucked 46 dicks. Why won't a guy sleep? Why won't a guy commit to me? That kind of thing. Or the more nuanced damseling, some 20-year-old child. Hey, my God, I have to work. Here's my subscription. Hey, guys, that kind of stuff. And so I'm always suspicious when, especially the Daily Mail. I'm like, okay, yeah, what microscopic seed of truth is there to your story? And so when I saw this article, why it's not why young men prefer video games over sex, I'm like, okay, that's really clickbaity. So when I did the research and found they cite a study. Study suggests. I'm like, study. Well, it turns out there is a study, and it was done by Rutgers, which, of course, with all these, and I'll tell you right now, even if it was a legitimate academic study, right, like with all the controls and variables, just so you guys know, all the social sciences, including psychology, but especially psychology, they're in what's called the validity crisis, where they did something. I have to look up the study itself, where they went back and tried to recreate 100 or 1,000 or however many hundred, it was multiple hundreds, I think, of psychological experiments. They tried to repeat these experiments to get the same results that the academically concluded. This is black and white. We know this, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. And then, obviously, with the social sciences, the fact we're getting worse and economic growth is going down and debts are going up and people are getting more poor adjusted for technology. That's a failed industry. Even if you do it best, these studies are dubious at best. But a real academic study was done on this. And so this has a little bit more veracity than your average Daily Mail. From Rutgers, study finds alcohol, video games, and living with parents affect young men's casual sex behavior. Casual sex is on the decline for both young men and women, according to a Rutgers University New Brunswick study that found less alcohol consumption among both genders. Right off the bat. I know this isn't the main topic, but look at this. Less alcohol consumption among both genders is a major reason. Remember the billboard? Jesse and Jason had alcohol. Jesse or Jessica can't consent to sex. It's like, wait a minute, that's the most sexist thing ever. Neither can Jason. But right off the bat, you see just how much of a critical role alcohol has played in the past of people getting. Alcohol was critical to the survival of the human race. Because girls can't fucking loosen up. Yeah, I said it. Shut the fuck up. Y'all, what was it? It wasn't as good as it gets. It had my mom, I swear to God, there was a movie with Jack Nicholson a long time ago. He's like this retired astronaut, and he says it's gonna take a lot of drinks. And the woman he was on a date with, it was some boomer. It was a horrific boomer Harlequin romance type of shit. I think I was 3 or 5 when it came out. It's like, it's funny. Okay. He said it's gonna take a lot of drinks, and the woman says, for what? To kill that bug that is up your ass. Oh my God, having alcohol loosen people up and they started to relax and enjoy life and maybe have a little bit of sex. It's reasoning. But right, not even the main, the gotcha, the clickbait aspect of this. Also, we got, here's another inconvenient truth. Alcohol helped people get laid. It lowered people's inhibitions. Like, oh, that's horrible. It's like, no, it just made you the person you wanted to become. She didn't know what she was doing. Well, do you have agency or not? Are you equals or not? What is it? Oh, the 80s and the 90s, even the aughts when alcohol helped you get laid and no one was like, "Ah." So right off the bat, casual sex is on the decline for both young men and women, according to a Rutgers University New Brunswick study that found less alcohol consumption among both genders is a major reason, comma, while playing video games and living at home with parents is another, but only for men. No kidding, women have no problem getting laid. Who knew that? I understand the living at home. I have the silver bullet for that solution. Cappy, I live at home with my parents. I'm saving $2,500 a month rent. Sounds pretty good to me. But should I sign up for a 12-month lease at $3,000 a month so that I might stand a chance at getting the girls? Huh? Or maybe you just get a hotel for that rare moment that you actually do get laid or the opportunity comes along. So both are absolutely. I find it fascinating. I actually have to believe it because it's such politically incorrect conclusions. It almost has to be true. But yes, less alcohol, living at home. I can see that. Yes, absolutely. But then video games, judging by their cigarettes, which is coming out in 4 days. Die Hard coming out in 4 days. The video games, I would have said the prawn, but the video games. Guys are choosing, it wasn't, according to this study, seems, about as academic as it's going to get, professionally anyway. Guys are choosing video games over you girls. The study published in the journal Socius found that between 2007 and 2017, so this is already a 6-year-old dated data, even older if you go back to the 2006 or 16 years old. So the trend has only gone, in other words, it's probably even more so today. The percentage of 18 to 23-year-old men who had casual sex in the past month dropped from 38% to 24%. The percentage dropped from 31% to 22% for young women of the same age. Oh my God. What a fun world we live in when we get rid of alcohol. Oh, man. You alphas are in for hell. There's going to be no booze. There's going to be no sex. There's going to be no fun. Oh, but hey, you girls will be happy finally. You'll be happy. You won't be drunk. You won't be tipsy. And there won't be any dicks inside you. It'll be anything. Oh my God, a feminist utopia. What a joy. What an exciting, bright future this is going to be. Holy shit. The fucking religious right Christian fundamentalists of the 80s couldn't have dreamed up a more prudish future. Oh, no one's boobies are getting felt. Thank fucking Christ. The most important factor driving the decline among young men is the decrease in drinking. Okay, very interesting, which alone explains more than 33% of the drop. The increase in computer video game explains about 25% of the change in sexual behavior among young men. We're not even considering prawn here, which I think might be a fault of the research. It's got to be a factor. But here they say it's actually video games. I believe it. But what gets me, it's the younger guys. What was it? Hang on. 18 to 23. 18 to 20. That's when the guys are their horniest. And it's because, I'll get to the reasons why later. It's becoming such a burden to chase you girls. These guys, or to such a disincentive given you're overweight and you're generally not fuckable. I'm sorry, being perfectly honest. You can be physically attracted. You guys have had that. The girls are just like God, you're mean. Yeah, I gotta kind of like the girl a little bit. Not a lot, but I gotta like her a little bit. Oh, look, video games. For 18 to 23-year-olds. When you get older, I could see this jadedness or your testosterone goes. You're like, what a pain in the ass. No, I'm going to stay at home and jerk off to the prawn. No, I'm not going to go to a nightclub. No, I'm not going to. You start adding up. You start doing the calculus as you're an older man. I mean, I'm not talking like you're 55. You ain't got no testosterone left. I'm talking you're like 34, 35. You're like, go out, huh? Oh, give up a good night's rest. Oh, and go through all that bullshit again. I've generally estimated a rule of 10 at the logarithmic rule. It's going to take you about 10 hours to get a date. and then another, like, I think it was 30 hours to get laid. That's a lot of time. That was in the before time when women did have drinks and they were a little bit not loose, but they were loosened up. This was in the days of Chicago where girls wanted to go. Oh, you guys missed it in the 90s of Chicago. It was great. You could go out. Girls wanted to go on dates. You say, do you want to go on a date? And they would say yes. Now, here's the crazy part. Then they'd show up. You're like, I don't know what to do. What do we do? You showed up. What are you doing? You're messing with the plan, man. You weren't supposed to show up. What the fuck am I supposed to do with you now? I don't know. Have fun, get drink, maybe have some sex. Oh. Those were the fun times in the Chicago days. Oh, those were good times. But now you're just like, not every guy has done the calculus to say, oh yeah, it's 30 hours per fuck. But the guys, they do the, intuitively, this ain't worth it. I'm not going to the nightclubs. I'm not doing that. That's a guy in his 30s, and definitely as he gets older. These are boys 6 to 16 years ago, which means it's only gotten worse. In the prime between the ages of 18 and 23, we're like, nope, choosing video games. How bad is it? Men are choosing video games over sex. How bad? While the increase in living with parents explains a little more than 10%, which is obviously gone up since that time, no other factor explained a significant portion of the decline, including prawn. The recent cohorts of young people adopt adult roles later. The recent cohorts of young people adopt adult roles later in their lives and depend on their parents for longer periods, said the study's co-author Lele, an assistant professor of sociology at Rutgers. The declining engagement in casual sex among this age group could be another sign of delayed transition into adulthood. Do you think? For young women, about 25% is attributable to a decline in drinking, which was the only factor that explained a significant portion of the decline. Also, women, look, let's say it again. Women just they're not that interested in sex. And I will also defend women in this one. The percent of men that women want to fuck has also gone down. That would be another. I mean, throw that into your little model there, Professor Lady. That explains a significant portion of the decline. Increased internet usage among young women suppressed what would have been a larger 11% decline in casual sex. An increased internet usage suppressed what would have been, so they were finding more guys on the internet. The study said that while both young men and women play computer games more frequently now than in the past, gaming inhibits only young men's casual sexual activity. They get something out of it. They get some. Look, I've said it before. Maybe I got to do a video. The pursuit of women cannot cost men their lives. You cannot. It's fishing. What was it? It was a study with lions or bears or some kind of quasi-predatory animal. Maybe it was gorillas. But they were showing how, I think it was the father bear. Well, no, father bears don't spend time raising their kids. Maybe it was lions, whatever. There was some animal where maybe it was the elder sibling brother animal, or maybe the father of the animal would wrestle and play with the animal. And they found that even though the father or the older brother animal was bigger and stronger, it could easily beat the little baby animal brother relative with just like that. He would occasionally let the little brother or son win, and they got it down to like 2 out of 7 times, like 1 out of 4 maybe, because if they never win, they'll stop trying. And it's a survival. Like you got to. They're trained. Obviously, they're training the little sibling to be able to fight. And I think probably humans are the same way. Like maybe you let your little brother win every once in a while. You know, you're a dad. You don't throw a 75-mile-an-hour fastball over to your 8-year-old son. So you'd let him win every once in a while so they remain vested. It's the same thing with you girls. The guy can't go. You go fishing at a spot. You're there for 2 hours. You don't even get a bite. You leave. There has to be a rate of return. Doesn't even have to be a positive one. I mean, look at gambling. Like, your statistics are about losing. That's more about how much you're betting and all that. But at least occasionally you win at roulette. At least occasionally in blackjack you win a hand. And the rate of return, the rate of winning or catching a fish or even getting a bite has gone down so low. Guys are like, I'm abandoning what is the most powerful aside from maybe eating and breathing, just survival, looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And even then, bucks will kill each other to go have sex with the doe. Right? Even that you have made it so statistically unlikely, and that it had to be conditioned into these guys. They had to at one time asked out girls. Maybe it's also what they should have done is measured the testosterone in these boys. The trophy participation trophy generation, the Democrat soy boy. You raised a bunch of Democrat soy. Maybe their testosterone is that high. Maybe they're like, I don't feel like that. Certainly is another variable I haven't thought of. But even the guy with the lowest of testosterone, like if a girl would kind of flirt or whatever, he might take a shot. How hard is it to cast a line into the net? They have made it such a low rate of return. So rarely are young boys. This is a 10-year-old on average study. It was so bad. The boys are, I'm going to go play video games. Because at least, and they're right. I mean, it's the difference between investing in stocks versus bonds. Bonds, you're going to get a certain rate of return of interest. Stocks, you never know. And this is even more volatile than stocks. At least there's a general upward trend. You get a dividend with that. This would be more like, I don't know, maybe crypto. Maybe, if that'd be analogous. But even crypto, you half the time, I guess you win. I'm trying to think of an investment that has a lower rate of return than the pursuit of women. Honestly, I got that book, the book of numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. I'm trying to think of a rate of return. And wow, that's more of a long-term marriage analysis. This is just going out and dating. And I'm not asking for girls to let men win, because I don't, that is forcing, that is going against their choice. See, I don't want to tell people what to do. That's basically, that's the job of a dictator, of a tyrant. I don't want to tell you what to do. I don't want women to like, we have this obligation to men. No, you don't. I just want to point out that, okay, you don't have this obligation to men. Do you want to let them catch a fish occasionally? Do you want to like maybe get a kiss on a date? Do you want it? No, we really don't. It's like, it's just fascinating. Like, no, let them be. Let them be. Just observe and report. What are they doing? Well, they're completely ignoring the men right now. Wow. Once they didn't need look at that. Look at that disinterest. But then ladies at the same time, which I know not every girl, well, I never said that. That's the equally Jerry Springer. Oh my God, I can't find a guy. Boo hoo hoo. Donate to my channel. But there's some girls like, why can't I find a man? I'm like, well, did you give him any hope? Did you give him a shot? Or how many of you shot? And see, maybe the guys are just learning much more quickly. I think a combination, that would be one fascinating thing to add to this study. What were their testosterone levels? That's what I would want to know. So they're not that tolerant anymore. They're not that interested, biologically speaking. I want to know, well, we already know that the testosterone is one thing. What did these girls look like between 2007 and 2017? Were they effeminate? Were they were feminine, rather? Were they long hair? Did they have dresses on? No, they didn't. That's another thing. Like, let's generally using that as a proxy would be female obesity among young women. So let's take a look, or tattoos or bodily mutilation or whatever. Right? But then I want to know early on, they went 18 to 23. I want to know what happened from 13 to 18. How many times did they ask a girl out? How many times did they have it happen in school? Oh, Becky wants you to ask her out. And they asked out Becky, and Becky didn't want her to ask out. All everybody's friends laughed at Joey for asking Becky out unwittingly. I want to know how many times they got stood up. I want to know all what happened. How did you kill the male sex drive? How did you girls lose? How did your pussy lose to fucking video games? Where have all the good men gone? Well, okay, they've been on their way out for quite some time. And girls might argue, well, they weren't that good anyway. Look at these. And they're right. They're right. It's not like these boys are exactly high catches either. But you're losing to video game. And this is part of that quiet quitting. This is kind of like that stealth retreat. Go look it up. The Aussies at the Battle of Tripoli. No, not Tripoli. Oh, what the hell is it? Tripoli's Libya, I believe. What the hell is the place in Turkey? Gallipoli, where the Australians, they had to evacuate because the Turks were winning. They knew if they evacuated, the Turks would rush them, and they died. So they had to do a very stealthy retreat. So they came up with piss can rifle triggers. Look it up. Very interesting little quaint bit of history there. And so they rigged up their rifles to fire occasionally to make it seem like they were there, and they peed into cans and poked holes in the cans so that it would trigger the different rifles at different times to make it seem like they're. They all got evacuated. I don't think anyone died. Now, not that it's this conscious, but men are quietly retreating like this. They don't like, that's it, I've had enough. I'm out of here after that. Although some do on the internet. Everyone does something on the internet. But the guys are just, you go, well, why can't, how come? What? Well, he's playing video games. I can't believe Prawn is not a part of this. I can't believe, but whatever. The whole point is they're not at the clubs. They're not asking you out. The online dating apps are dying because I don't know why it took everyone 5-10 years to figure that shit out. Maybe in the first 5 years it was good. A lot of people say, yeah, I remember 2013. It was great. I was meeting girls all the now it's just become a place of digital worship for women. Men need any person needs some kind of success, some kind of rate of return on their investments, or they're going to stop doing it. It is merely a pissing away of resources, which inevitably increases your risk of death, certainly impoverishment, whether that's time or money loss. You just, why would you waste your time and resources? And again, we're at this fascinating crossroads where we're looking at just how little interest women have in men, and men are like, oh wow, and they're picking it up. One of my main complaints in society is like, here it is, here's the number, here's the data, whatever. Financial crisis coming, stop majoring in dumb crap, and nobody listens to me. And then the crash happens, and people lose they don't get a job with their worthless degree. Oh my God! And then there's pain and suffering. It's slow, but it's steady. And this is a 6-year-old study. The boys are waking up. They're starting to get hip to the jive. And admittedly, a lot of this may be lower testosterone, so they're less blinded by their horniness. But they're starting to make rational decisions. I would say they should go hiking or do something else, but they're playing video. And it makes complete sense because at least on the video game, you get some escapism. You get a dopamine hit. You get to like have a little bit of joy in life. And by God, whereas there's an element of defeatism in that, I'm kind of envious of them because I look back and I'm like, man, the amount of time and effort and energy I wasted. I know it's a sales job. I know. But I should have just stayed at home and played more video games. I should have read a book. I should have gone on more hikes. I could have, if I had stopped spending, think about, here's the real opportunity cost. If I had never spent that, I just decided to work more, extra shifts instead of chasing and save the money. I could have started my adventures at the age of 25. I could have had the money to start doing my road tripping and hiking and adventuring at 25 instead of 30. That's an extra half a decade right there. And I would have been way ahead of where I am now. And that was when you would get laid every once in a while. But now, oh my gosh. And maybe that's the variable, is we could always rely on men to be driven by their sex drive to pursue and compete for women, which is a good thing. That's a good thing, because we wouldn't have the inventions and the innovation and the work ethic and the production and the standards. We wouldn't have the world we have today if men didn't have their sex drive. If women didn't make men compete, if women had the same sex drive as men wouldn't have to work. I mean, it's a balance. There's a lot of good biological evolutionary reasons to advance like that. But now that women have put it well out of the range of the average guy, and men's testosterone has gone down, the power juice that made men and that's, you go see it. You could already see what happens when you take the fuel out of the economic engines of society, which is men. Sorry, ladies. Go get my latest book, A World Without Men. It's not even close. It's not even close. The amount of production, and not just raw production, but technological innovation of men versus women, it ain't even close. Go look it up. A World Without Men. You girls have every right. The paradox, the irony is, you girls like, well, I don't want to catch any fish. But you're right. They're your fish to catch. And if you don't want to bite on that bait, that's fine. You don't have to. I hope you're okay without electricity. I hope you're okay with an 800 daily calorie diet, because the farmers are predominantly men. I hope you're okay living in mud huts. Because if these boys are playing video games, they don't have a reason to get out there and form families or work or build things, let alone create or innovate, the society is going to end. And the irony is, I swear to guys, link below, A World Without Men. I think it's linked below. Just search A World Without Men. Claire, you'll find on it. There are several other books written by it. The irony or the tragedy is, it's not like we're going to lose all this wisdom. It's not like we won't know how to generate electricity. I mean, there's the blueprints. We got books. We'll even maybe have some YouTubes. It'll be that there just won't be any men motivated enough to do it. And then the girls are going to be like, oh, he has to catch a fish in order to go fishing. And then it's like, well, you get to choose between electricity or having sex. Which is it? And it's coming. It's already happening on individual levels. The broke ass, whatever, liberal arts student who couldn't ever make it and then doesn't know how to fix her toilet. Plumbers are charging $300 an hour. Oh my God. I'm like, gee, I wonder if there was something you could do to make money. I wonder without any real skills, if there's something you could do to make money. And they're already doing it in a certain way with the OnlyFans, monetizing their sexuality. My question is, what if the internet goes out and the electricity goes out? And I know OnlyFans, let alone the banking system for you to it's I got my big bag of popcorn. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm so glad I'm alive today to see this. This has been a wonderful, wonderful show. Just a wonderful show. And here we are. We got a topic: young men choosing video games over sex. I'm like, no way. Turns out probably true. And the days of there being shame in that's gone, man. It's not long gone, but I think we got over that shame hump. You just stay at home and play video games and jerk off to the prawn. Yeah. Have you seen Lizzo? Have you seen the disparaging social comments made about men, whether that's government policy, academia, the media, and the movies? You damn right guys are playing video games and jerking off to prawn. What? Why would they go to a nightclub? The stuff the red pill has been, the wisdom, the observations, the data, the empiricism, the red pill has been accumulating over 20 years. Now it's being disseminated over the internet. I mean, slowly but surely. Now it's kind of like, oh, I guess women can't be weapons grade bitches all the time and fat pigs and sows with other men's children and then still expect men to get up in the morning. And this idea of shame, like, oh, you boys, shame, shame, shame. You're playing video games. Shame, shame. It's not working anymore. Short because of guys like me and other people on the internet, like, yeah, that ain't worth it. And I got to imagine it's one thing, maybe the internet, maybe social media commentators kind of like verify what you're empirically experiencing, but I can't imagine it's just the me. I think the internet is only kind of like, yeah, we're corroborating what your experiences are. I'm almost guaranteeing you the experiences, young men, the real life experiences have built up to this, where they're like, what am I doing? What am I? Why did she stand me up? I think it's not that big of a topic, but I think that is the biggest torpedoes being sent into the sides of ships right now, is when these boys get stood up. Like, you said you're going to do X, you didn't do X. And now you expect no, and then here all the internet does is corroborate what men have experienced. And now I don't care how much social shaming society, feminist, government, politics, media, whatever. Oh, shame, shame, shame. Now there's a bunch of guys in the locker room like, yeah, F that. I'm not going to go to college and pay how much in student loan debt and get married and get divorced. No way. No way. I'm going to play video games and drink and jerk off to the prawn. And you girls can clutch your pearls all you want. What? Are they wrong? They're not wrong. Now, I'd argue, as many people do, okay, look, you can't just be playing video games and jerking off the prawn all day. You got to go do something. Which is why we talk about other productive things. You know, you should get a career of some kind. You should be going to the gym. You should be working out, diet. You should have some intellectual endeavors or hobbies, or you go live life. You know, life is not just sitting there playing video games all the time. But if you got to, let's say, come on a journey with me. You're a Bob Bobson, everyday average American Joe. You wake up at 7. You go work your truck driving job at 8, you do your duty, you come back home. It's let's say 5:36. All right, you put an honest day of work in, and you I don't know, you go to the gym, you get your exercise in, you know, because you're a truck driver, you don't get a lot of exercise opportunities. So you do your exercise, and then it's 7:15. If you got a choice between going to the nightclub or going to the bar and trying to pick up a girl, swiping on your phone, or say, go to a ballroom dance course, or take a course, go to the local community college and take a class on accounting, or just playing some video games. You have every right to play the video games and jerk off to the prawn. You put in your dues. You put in your 8-9 hours. You did a little bit of a hobby, a little bit of an activity. You did your exercise. And now you're tired. Let's just put that at, here's another aspect. People don't, caloric and mental energy. You've driven, you've worked out. Your brain is exhausted doing everything it should do. It's done enough of the Boy Scout stuff. Now it needs a little bit of a fun. It needs a little bit of a reward. It needs a treat. It needs a positive reinforcement. Dating is not a positive reinforcement. Dating is not a fun experience. It is a punishing and taxing and beleaguering and exhausting. It's like a job. And it's also probably a little bit more emotionally taxing than driving truck or any kind of regular job. That's just tedium. What guy is good? No. He's going to play Red Dead Redemption. He's going to play Ghost of Tsushima. He's going to play God of War. He's going to play anything that's more fun, or watch, or go on the internet and chit chat with his buddies. He's going to go and jerk off to the prawn. Of course, why would they swipe? Why? They've been fishing in there. Hey, you know the fishing hole they've been fishing in for 5 years and nobody ever caught no fish? Yeah, we're not going there. Like, nah, word's gotten out. And I would say, ladies, so if you'd like to catch a guy, you're going to have to, I'm not saying give it up, but you're going to have to go on a date or two and kind of give guys a shot. That is asking them to do something I honestly think they don't want to do. I think we are at true equilibrium. I think this is the real you guys will know if the girls are interested in you. They'll let you know. And until that time, I think it's just a tremendous waste of time. I'm not saying again if there's a cute girl you don't ask her out, but going to nightclubs, swiping on apps, like, let alone you find girl X. Girl X gives you a number. Even texting the girl is going to be a waste of time at this point. You like text a little bit, as they always say. Your goal is to get her. Well, on the social media, they say the quickest thing from social media is to get them on the phone as quickly as possible. I would say from the phone is to get on an actual date. If people do that anymore in the physical world, I don't know what the point of the phone or texting is. Like, do you want to meet up or what? But you're not dicking around with the text. They're like, hey, how's it going? Oh, is that cool? No. Hey, you want to get together for coffee? Hey, you want to get together for a drink? So you're not going to waste your time with that. And then if you go out, which is a time investment, here's another thing. Your real budget isn't you got 24 hours a day. No, 8 of that is sleeping. Another hour of that is getting ready if you're lucky. And there's another hour commute. So we're always talking 10. You only got 14 hours. Now, 8 of that's going to be working. So now you're down to 6. And then there's like regular schedule and maintenance. So knock out 2 hours a day for that optimistically. So you're talking 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day. And maybe you just want to sit on your ass and recover. 4 hours a day? And you want me to do a 1 in about 10 shot that you're going to, and I got to spend those, you're going to have to spend 2.5 days of your free time to get a date. A date. Not really what you want. A date. And there's no guarantee it's going to be a pleasant one or an enjoyable experience. And like I said, I don't think men have spreadsheets and the numbers and the formula and all that. But I'm pretty sure back here the brain kind of keeps a tally. Like, yeah, that wasn't worth it. Hey, look, Beastmaster's on. That's HBO. That's a pun. That's a joke. And so, yeah, I could see good boys picking video games over sex. I can see it. Because what's sex? Aaron, choose. You have an evening off. You could choose to play poker with your buddies or go on a date with Salma Hayek. Well, the only problem is that the chances of me going on a date with Salma Hayek are 0. But I have a 100% guaranteed rate of return of having some fun with my buddies playing poker, even if I lose. Right? If I lose, it's still a good time picking on each other. But there's no chance I'm going. Okay, there's 0 chance of going on a date with Salma Hayek. There is a small chance of going on a date with a girl, but it's less than 50. It's definitely less than 50. Definitely, you're talking ever so roughly 1 in 10. And boys got a life. Men have lives. They have shit they have to survive. That consumes. They have to sleep and survive. Those two right there, what is it? I say you got 4 hours, 4, 20, 1, 6, 5, 6, whatever the math is on that, 5, 6, which is 83%. 83% of their lives are spent sleeping and surviving. And with the remaining 1/6 of their time, now they got to pursue you and convince you? No. Their lives are not good. What did you do? I chased tail my entire, because that's what your definition is. What defines you in life is not what you did for a living. It's what you did with that microscopic 4 hours a day, if you're lucky, of free time. This assumes you're not working on another job to get out of debt and all this other crap. Because Karen in HR says, yeah, master's degree. Okay, where are the men going? I don't know. They're just trying to get these basic entry-level qualifications. You and your female cabal at HR require all. If you lowered the standards, men could start working on their careers early, and then you'd find a lot more guys who make 100,000. But no, you want them to stick in school going into debt. But you're defined by what you did in the free time. Are you a hiker? Are you a biker? Are you a musician? Are you a poet? Are you a dancer? Are you a father and husband? That's what's defined in your free time. And you girls want, you're essentially like, well, If you're going to chase after us, you got to give that up. No. Men are not going to give up their lives for that. Or not. Okay, some men will. I mean, we all know the guy fifth marriage doesn't understand. Like, really? What don't you get about the first 4 times? 4 billion men on the planet. Some are just not going to learn, no matter how many times you tell them. But the younger, they're waking up. They're like, no, no, man, I just don't. I also got to imagine I'm approaching it from a very cold and economic analysis point of view. I got to imagine the emotional thing. I mean, now, after a while, you get over the emotional rejection. Oh, I feel bad because I got rid. Soon you're just like, nah, it's a sales job, man. I don't care. If you get to that point. But for the average man, especially younger man today, I don't know if they ever get inured. They build a callus to it that it doesn't phase them. I think it still phases the majority, especially young men. Why would they go through the emotion? Why would they pay the emotional price of getting rejected is what I'm saying. And it's one thing you cast a line out, you don't catch no fish. It's another thing you cast the line out and the fish is, oh, fuck you, I hate you, you're disgusting. Oh, why you think I'm gonna, that big? You think I'm gonna get that? Like if the fish could talk back at you, I don't think a lot of guys be going fishing. Every time you cast, the fish mock you. And guy, I don't know where the good men have gone. I just don't know. All right, let's go to the super chats and have it. So link below. I think what do I got? Link below. I think it's either A World Without Men, which you could just search that on Amazon, Clary, you'll find it. And if you want to see, just so you know, look, a lot of you guys are upset. Like, how could girls betray us and leave us? I get it. That's how it's been for all of eternity. And now they just walked away. I'm a bit more of a stoic approach. Well, they never like you that much. You should respect the decision. But if you're looking for like, well, how dare, like, you still like, what the hell? Why would you do that? That's so mean. I'm like, don't worry. There's a cost. There's a consequence. There's an equilibrium. Because if girls aren't going to participate with men, well, men aren't going to participate in society. And you want to see what that society is going to look like? Go get that book, A World Without Men. There's also the book of numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. I've analyzed it before. I just didn't know it was so bad. Men are choosing video games over sex. But then again, it's like a Soviet or a California grocery store. Oh, we offer groceries until you go in and there's no groceries on the shelves. It's like, well, we like to have sex until you go in and you're like, yeah, but you're really not going to have it. It's not really on offer. You state, it's theoretical. Like, well, women can have sex. They're not gonna. The grocery store should have groceries, but it doesn't. Well, not for you, but for the special connected people like the Soviet elite class, which there should be no class in Soviet Russia or San Francisco. Oh, then we got some background. Oh, yeah. Then you get your caviar. But if you normal people, oh, no. Sire Lancaster, have you tried Stalker Gamma? Operation Drewski has a great video on it that made it go viral. Forget women, to be honest. Gaming only sometimes abuses. Hang on. Let me write this down. Stalker Gamma? Let me write this down. I'll put it on my to-do list. I need something to listen to at the gym today. I'm not like sick anymore. Stalker Gamma. Operator Drewski. Operator Drewski. Yeah. Now look, I'm not a big doomer guy. I'm not a black pill guy. I'm not even necessarily MGTOW, like in its spiritual set. I guess it's like, nah, I got other stuff. But these people aren't wrong on certain things. It is what it is. So I'll take a look at them and see what it is. Ex-runner, $5. Alcohol never made the girl hotter. It made me settle. Yeah, but the same could be said of them. It's true. It goes both ways. Makes guys less afraid. You talk liquid courage, as they used to call it. Now that lands you in jail or destroys your career. There's a whole other aspect where the pursuit of women at times can be illegal or a career-ending move or You can't go. And, we've all been there. You get 86 from a bar or a nightclub. It's usually a girl involved. Not even their fault necessarily. But going forward, like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You can't ask out girls. Just no. Can't ask out people at the gym. No. Can't ask out people at church. No. Oh, Mark Bodyman, $2. Video games don't have STDs or accusations. Right. And I'm not even going like the risk. All I'm saying is you turn the video game on and it works. You're not wasting your time. A buddy of mine long ago, and this is blogging days. This is before YouTube. He says, he was in his late 30s. Like, I'm increasingly choosing scotch over women. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, so I can go to this nice lounge. His forte was airport lounges. Like, so you go to hotels by airports, and they always had the nicest lounges. Very interesting fellow. He says, I'm always going to go to the airport lounge, order myself a cocktail, and enjoy that scotch. He got into scotches. He says, and he had a scotch in his hand. He says, because this is a known quantity, this is going to be an enjoyable experience. Chasing after girls has not been. And he had a career like anyone else in their late 30s of chasing women. And this scotch is going to treat me well every single time. I'm like, yeah, I could see it. I think I was in my young 30s, maybe even 20s at that time. So I don't think it's the risk. I just think it's the waste of. I think it's purely an economic. I don't have time for this. And also not only men less attractive now, so they can't pull the girls they want. The girls aren't that attractive either. So men just really don't have that much of an incentive. If you put like Selma Hayek was in front of me, I'm a little more prone to ask out Selma Hayek than the average girl at Walmart. But you don't see a lot of Selma Hayeks. Causal Kraken, $5. In late 20s, made $165,000 a year. Over 6 feet tall, debt-free, and own a house. Women always say no, but my video and tabletop friends were down to play. Exactly. Look, we only have so much time on this planet. And this gets to the ultimate economic choice. Look, I have a life to live. You're going to chase the girls. And I think men are more quickly assessing what women are in terms of a known quantity and making the earlier decision like, okay, I don't have time for this. Because I'm not going to waste my life. I'm not going to waste my time doing something that's tedious and pulling teeth. And and especially girls made it abundantly clear men aren't needed, and for the most part, not wanted. Men are kind of like, geez, how much time I gotta? No, I got some D&D pals. There's a good spaghetti Western thing I can watch. I could go to literally anything has a more, not necessarily a higher rate of return, but a more guaranteed rate of return. And like I said before, you cannot make the pursuit of women cost men their lives. Reen Schwartz at $5. Well, men just got to man up. Men just got to man up, then it'll work. 27 Baldur's Gate 3 is easily better. 27 Baldur's Gate 3 is easily better. No content. Oh, yeah, the video game. Yeah. Now, let me also, this is where people like, but then you tell men to hit the gym and to work hard. It's like, yeah, because that is rewarding in life. You would do that unto yourself for your own self, because working hard and getting the right degree does make your life easier. I always say for freedom, right? You work out so you extend your life expectancy, and then you work hard early on, especially, so that you can be free of an employer, 1099 superior race early on, so that by the time, hopefully you're not my age, hopefully younger, by the time you're 30, 35, you're like, no, I could do whatever the hell I want now. And you're like, well, yeah, so then let's say you do that, you're 35, you get to live the life of Cappy, you work a little bit, but it's mainly your life is doing what you want. You do that for 45 years, you die at 80. You say, well, what'd you do? Oh, I did all these adventures. I went on all these hikes. I did these things. I played video games. I made some great friends. A couple girls were along the way, but I didn't like dedicate my life to it or anything. Compared to the guy who's divorced, I know these people. 3 ex-wives, all their pensions are gone. They still got to worry about money in their 60s or 70s. Fuck that shit, I'm out. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, their pursuit cost them their lives. And so, yeah, no doubt. Even Baldur's Gate, even though it's woke trash, I'll take Baldur's Gate 3. It's different 30. I'll give you another. Just playing Ghost of Tsushima, I'm almost done. I'm up against the last guy now. That has been a more enjoyable experience than 90% of the women I dated. Easily 90%. Easily 90%. Because it wasn't enjoyable dating 90% of the girls I dated. It was a pain in the ass. It's different. $5. I'm going to see Die Hard, Aaron Clary, but Die Hard with a Vengeance and Live Free or Die Hard are free on YouTube. Well, you don't have to go to I'm going to the theater. I bought my ticket. I'm excited. I'm stoked. Let me have my joy in life. I think you're all missing out. Not going to see Die Hard in the theater. You have this opportunity first time in 35 years. I'd recommend going to see it. Get your tickets now from the 8th to the 14th. Generation Apollo, $10. Society 20 years ago. Young people are having too much. Here's a guy with an above average IQ. Society 20 years ago. Young people are having too much premarital sex. That's a problem. Society now. Young people are less interested in sex. That's a problem. Can you see why I tapped out? Can you see why I want my Croatian hut? Can you see why I'm going to Asia? It's not for the girls. I just want to go to a place that's fucking sane. I want to go where people aren't fat, tatted up, nose-pierced pigs. Ass bucket, $5. It is that bad I don't want to hear her talk about her masters, crusades, missions, virtues, debt, cat, or how the patriarchy is to play. Who would want... Okay, remove the male-female war. Who would want to listen to that anyway? What woman would want to listen to that? I don't want to listen to that. No one wants to listen to that. And well, men's sex drive has the amount of boring. You couldn't even conversate. The amount of boring words that came out of women's mouths that I was dating, that I acted like I was interested in so I could get laid, would triple the amount of Shakespeare's works in terms of word volume. And it's all the same. It's nothing new. I think you nailed it there. Just, But man, the power of the pussy. But maybe not no more. Maybe not no more. I mean, you yell and scream at guys that you don't need them, you don't want them, and they're disgusting pigs for wanting to have sex, and you attach even legal risk to the pursuit of it. You could, or losing your job, financial risk. And then men's testosterone goes down because you raised to be a bunch of Democrat soy boy pussies. Yeah, they're going to have less tolerance for that bullshit. Frankenfoot, $5. Gun silver savings first. We'll be getting into EOD January 9th. I don't know what EOD is. Savings first. It depends on where you are. Like if you're in a leftist shithole, I'd get guns first. But savings first. Guns second, silver third. I'd do it in that order. Or you could just get a copy of Bachelor Pad Economics, the Financial Advice Bible for Men, and then all your financial questions will be answered. A lifetime reference book for you. Oh my God, it's time to think about life insurance. If only there was a resource. Oh my God, Bachelor Pad Economics. I saved myself $100 in consulting fees, not having talked to a financial advisor. Thank you, Cappy. You're welcome, sir. Prince Revolver, $5. Once young men realize they have been lied to on what women want and desire, they either try to self-improve or they just throw in the chips. Yeah, and I think it's one of two ways. I think women kind of do the same thing where once you realize, oh, this is reality. For example, women, their epiphany, if they have it, is one of men are primarily interested in physical beauty and youth. And you're either going to have sex and maintain your physical beauty and youth, or you're not. And a lot of women are like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's not worth the gym or the dieting. and I'm not that interested in men. And then they kind of go and do their own things. And we may have called them spinsters, but that's kind of a pejorative a little bit. I think they're just some women who weren't that interested in men. I'm not saying they were lesbians either. It was like, no, and they went and did their thing. They need to scream and hate on men because deep down inside they really want them. I think there were those women in society who just, no, it's not worth it. Men are doing the same thing where it's like, okay, here's the reality. So now I got my life, and what am I going to do with it? That's more of a Greek philosopher question. Well, do I improve it to be the best person I could possibly be, or do I live more hedonistically? I'm going to eat Doritos and Mountain Dew. No offense to him, I love the guy, but kind of a Chris Beckloff life. Nah, I'm going to play my video games and not. This is not advice, but be a good Christian, go to church. But he's going to read his comics. He's going to play his video games. He's going to hang out with his dog. But both perfectly valid choices. Just don't complain about the opportunity cost in choosing them. Yeah, and here's the other good news is men are learning quicker that they're being lied to about women. So they're not wasting their up until 40 or until death getting married, third marriage at 58 or whatever, that kind of bullshit. I think the boys are figuring it out early. Like, no. Shark Tawes, subscribe to his channel, $5. Hey, Cappy, how you been lately? Pretty bad. Pretty fucking bad. I got food poisoning and having to deal with some other bullshit. Pretty fucking bad. Just dropping by to say hi. Also, I always choose sharks over everything. Don't know if that counts. Whatever makes you happy, man. You can man, kind of envious of people like they're really into some obscure like Egon from Ghostbusters. I got a collection of spores, mold, and fungus. Long as you're happy, buddy. Long as you're happy, that's all that matters. Frankenfoot, $5. How has firearm laws affected your property overseas? Well, I don't have property overseas, and it would depend on the country I go to. They're not affecting it that much because I'm looking for a culturally stable country where the people are not fat, ugly pigs. So we're looking at very culturally strong countries where you'd have high trust and there's not going to be a lot of violence anyway. So like Dubai, for example, Muslim countries are kind of run, like it's extremely violent or extremely do what we tell you or we cut your hands off. And everyone's like, okay, there's no poop in the streets. Korea, I don't know what their laws are. Japan, I'm not necessarily looking at that, but we'll see. I'll cross that road when I get there. NJ, 2 Canadians, the caliber is shit, and Xbox and PS5 won't divorce Raisin. Prince Revolver, $5. I just turned 34 yesterday. I'm still interested in women. Well, we always will be. You're programmed to. It's not like, oh, women. Oh no, not those nasty things. Oh, I'm revolted. I just have a low tolerance for a nasty attitude and passive aggressive communication. Yeah. I like dogs, but I don't like the dogs that are trying to bite me or are mean or growly. There are girls out there. They're not the majority. There are girls out there that are feminine and nice, but yeah, you will never not want women. I'm trying to get you all to the point. I think we're all there, and it is to realize that some women are worse for you, no matter what you might get out of them. And now even the pursuit of which is kind of like, no, we have shit to do, ladies. You could come a little bit this side to meet us halfway or like even a third, but we can't travel that far. It's not possible. We can't live our lives and enjoy it and then take a gamble like that. It's too risky. Hand Clogs, $5. Cappy, if you're Republican, MAGA, or Libertarian, women go, ew. If you're not rank and file, you lose 50% of more of the Womans. Did you see Die Hard? No, it hasn't come out yet. It comes out on the 8th. I don't think I see mine until the 9th. I got to look at my ticket. Cappy, if you're a Republican, MAGA, women go, ew. Yeah. If you're not rank and file, you lose 50% more. Yeah, but at the same time, that's true where, okay, I'm not a Democrat. Ew. Okay, fine. But if you're also a really good look, if you're a top 5% guy, then you can play with that because girls will immediately start getting rid of their requirements well, the old classic saying, girls make rules for betas and break rules for alphas. If you're good looking enough, like Henry Cavill, most girls would sleep with him. Even I mean, we don't know his politics, but I don't think he's a rabid leftist. They'll give that up, which is why I say go to the gym, don't go to college if you want the girls. Better days, 5 British pounds. You forget, Cap, they deliver themselves like Deliveroo to the men like from meeting by what? Guys, take the time to spell your super chats. I can't do it justice if it doesn't. You forget, Cap, they deliver themselves like Deliveroo to the man they like from meeting by phone. Oh, yes. Okay, I see. I don't know what Deliveroo is. If they like you, they're going to do all the work. Well, not all of it, but they'll make it very easy. But it's increasingly becoming so difficult to become that top 5%. Your life almost has to become that. And there's one way to thread that needle, and it's like you pursue excellence anyway, which has been Rich Cooper's conclusion, my conclusion. But even then, your focus is not to do it for the girls. You do it for your own life and live your own life. And then as you become, you're an expert on sharks. And then Shark Toss goes to a shark convention. And there's this nerdy girl who also likes sharks, and she's into jazz. And oh my God. And then there's lights, but that's a movie, probably is going to happen in the real world. That you stand a better shot at that, and you get to live your life. But yeah, don't aim to become a top 5% guy for women solely. Aim to become a top 5% guy because that's the life you want to lead. And then whether you get girls or not, whether it's successful pursuit of women or not, it won't matter. You say, man, this life I lived was really great. And when you're 80, you're not dying like, I chase it, pussy. Frank Manafo, the third, $5, just finished the book. When are we moving to Asia? South Korea is great hiking. I got to get there, man. I got to get boots on the ground. Speaking of resources, and I'm getting old, not old in physical health, but old in energy. I'm tired. I just want to sit and do nothing for a while. Hand clogs, $2. Video games and Prime makes one happy, Cappy. It doesn't make you miserable. I mean, look, if you do only that, and you do drugs and Adderall and Kratom and vape, and you never leave home, and you eat and you're a pig, that's a life of misery. But if you go, like we had our example, Bob Bobson, he's reliable American truck driver, and he does his thing. And then at the end of the night, you treat yourself to a little bit of video games and prawn. That's fine. I mean, I think you'll be in a good, perfect mental, well, not perfect mental state, but a better mental state. Prince Revolver, 10 generous bucks. There's a video Better Bachelor just released of an average woman upset she has to settle for an average man. Now think of all the women we don't see with this mentality. See, yeah, now there I wonder, I think I saw that one. Is she really doing that because she believes that? Or is she doing it for attention? Like, is she damseling? And I'm at the point, I don't care. I don't care. If the ball is so squarely in women's court right now. Men have just been hitting balls to women's court where it ain't even, you can't even see the woman no more. The women are just covered in balls. Yeah, I think there's one. At any point in time, she can hit one back. At any point in time. But when I'm saying, guys, stop hitting balls over in the net. You leave the court. You got shit to do, man. You're going to die soon. And it's up to girls you strong, independent. That's all we've heard for 60 years. It's in my book, A World Without Men. Strong, independent. They say you're an expert with explosives. Start proving it. Okay, girls, start proving it. Let's see it. Let's see you take us out for dates. The absurdity of that statement. Let's see you ask us out. And guys, the reason you're not going to see that happen isn't because of cowardice or they're afraid. I mean, there's that too. They don't want to. They based on the data, it really is only the top 5% of guys. Someone said it very well in the comments section. There's the fact, the data, that women find 80% of men unattractive. Someone made the point that doesn't mean they found the top 20% of men attractive. He said that means they just found them not unattractive. 15% they find meh or average, and only 5% they actually find attractive. And every time I think that's so dark, that's so cynical. And then you look at the data on dating apps, like that corroborates it. And you say, oh, but that's dating, that's online. That's like, well, then you look at your own personal life. Yep. No, that corroborates it. It's 1 in 20 about, yeah. They're just not that interested. And it's like, if you ever try to play tennis with someone who doesn't want to hit the ball back, they're not that interested. Okay, fine. You have to leave the tennis court. You have to find a girl that wants to hit that ball back. You're just wasting your time otherwise. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have time to be sitting on a tennis court waiting for people to hit balls back. I got shit to do. Reen Schwartzer. Oh, wait, did I finish? Now think about all the women we don't see with this mentality. I think it's more prevalent than you would think. I think that's a bit of theater and show you saw in that video. But I think women are very upset. They're upset at numbers. They all want that. You would say, well, yeah, okay, sure, fine. That 80% of gal chasing the top 5% of guys. I would say generally, roughly, there are 4 to 5 women chasing after one guy, and they will not sell until they get that one guy. So that means at least 80% of them or 75% of them are going to be without a man. And those 75 to 80% of women are going to be forever pissed off that they didn't get their birthright. And they will not settle for the average man. That's no offense to you. They're just not attracted to you. So stop trying to play tennis with them. Reen again, $5 daily schedule. Get up at here we go. Get up at 7, work 8 to 5, go to the gym. 5:30 to 7:30, go home, make dinner, video games, 8 to 9:30, then bed, repeat. Saturday hiking, Sunday at church, done. There you go. And you know what? Is this a glorious and exciting James Bond life? No, but you know what? It's a damn good life. I bet you it's also easy in a sense, not to say your work is not is easy somehow. But you're getting your good rest. You're not going out getting drunk. You're not hungover. You're not exhausted. You're not emotionally discouraged. You're not demoralized. It's just a nice, good, here we go. You got your God. Meet some people at church. You're getting your gym in. Playing your video games. He's so boring. Ken, $10. Put all my liabilities in her name, cars, etc. Paid for it all. And she still acted up. So I left and she filed bankruptcy 2 weeks ago. Consequences of her behaviors. I'm 27. She's 28. There you go. That's intelligent. Put all my liabilities in her name, etc. You paid for it all, and she still acted up. So I left and she filed bankruptcy 2 weeks. That's a fair transaction. Look, I'll pay for it, but the debts are in your name. So if you ever act up, I just leave, and now you got to pay for it. But I get to use these. That's very intelligent, Ken. Very intelligent. Did you come up with that yourself? I'm not accusing you of being stupid, but someone tell you that? Did you put that together? That's a very smart move. I wonder how that would work. The mortgage is in your name. I'll pay for it, but I'm out of here. The lease is in your name. I'll pay for it, but I'm out of here. Frankenfoot, $5. Have you seen the 3D printed house? Pre-installed plumbing and electricity. Okay, sounds good to me. I'm all for technology, making housing cheaper. And if we don't have to have plumbers, the less tradesmen we need, the better. The better. Breck Lemons, 10 generous dollars, unrelated to the topic, but I can't express my love and appreciation for you and your insight. Aaron, thank you so much. Look, dude, the amount of hell I had, again, I talk about the analog days where me and old man Rolo were running around slaying mammoth, right? The analog days were fucking hell. Fucking nightmare. I had no idea what was going on. We thought it was us because it had to be, or the location. We had no idea this was the consequence of long-term political nationwide trends. We had no idea. And now that we have the internet, the least we can do is point out the emperor has no clothes, so you don't go through that fucking hell or confusion or agony or pain. And just to state, hey, this is how it is. And so you save your time in your life. You just, we just don't want you to wait. Why would we, unless you're a really sick boomer, well, if I had to do it this way, then you do too, which is evil. Why would we wish that upon our average man? Why would we do no, we're more than happy to share it with you so you don't go through hell like we did. I think there's also an element of old timers who had to go through the hell a little bit older than us, like younger boomers. Because I think there's some guys who made a ton of money and you see it on Fresh and Fit, like they'll get $500 super chats. I'm like, who can afford a $500 super chat? Same thing happened with Cobalt. I tune into Joker on his Saturday night stream, and he gave Joker a $600 super chat. I think there are guys who, in the analog days, didn't even have the benefit of the internet when they were still relatively young, who made a ton of money and realized just how much they've been lied to, and now they got money, and either they don't have a wife or they don't have really a use for it, but then they're like, you boys help out these other boys. You go. You prevent the pain. So I think there's a huge brotherly incentive on the part of guys who are older to make it so that younger guys don't go through what they did. Because you find out that not all of your life was a lie, but a lot of it was, or you were lied to a lot. And like, the fuck if this is going to happen to generations going forward. Oh, and don't worry, the economy is going to be shit. Holy cow, are you guys in for a world of hurt in the future? Cappy prediction number 17, that's going to go right again. But you don't have to be confused. You don't have to have that fucking pain of insanity and confusion. You don't have to have that. And that's where your standards of living probably are even going to be better, because at least you understand. You're not some feminist who doesn't understand why she's poor and can't make money with her master's in feminist studies. You're not some poor black guy who's been brought up to think, oh, everything is the white man's fault, and it's not because I knocked up 5 gals and have a crime record and didn't really get a skill or a trade or anything, and I'm still poor. What, like the insanity, or rank and file 80s kid? Why did Susie Q stand me up? We're being honest with each other, telling each other the truth so that future generations, predominantly men, women can join anytime, future generations of men make the right choices. They're not confused anymore. And we ain't Paul. We ain't Paul. I mean, just a general good. We're not going to be poor. That's my goal. Just want to not be poor. I think we can all manage that. So yeah, no problem, Breck. We literally got, what was I going to do? Help out in banking? Nonstop Dre. Oh, look who woke up. $2 video games can't hashtag me too you 20 years later, or oopsie you. You're right. That's daunting. Like, that can happen to any guy. Some date you had that went bad. Some gal just doesn't like you. Heinrich Dorfman, $5. For me, it's exercise or video games. Exercise is always a better investment of time, especially if the world's going to shit and sex coming back. The sex will sort of come back. I don't know. Don't hang around for it. Just go pay for it. I'll be perfectly honest. It's not like you can't. Just go pay for it. It's going to be easier. Mayeka, $2. I'm just done with wasting my time on women. Done. There you go. Right. I'm just done wasting my time. We're done wasting our time on higher education that doesn't get you anywhere. You're done wasting your time on booze or drugs or things that have no rate of return. You're done wasting your time on whatever, political crusades, nonprofits, whatever. And you don't waste your time on women. Don't waste your time on done. You have one life, and the only thing you got is time. I think men are getting to the point where it's like, no, I'm gonna go fishing. I'm gonna go I don't watch the news. Certainly don't chase after women. I'm not going into a career. Absolutely not. So there's just a bunch of time wasters. Women tend to be the primary one in men because men chase them all the time. Let's be honest about this. Not like women. Not like women are asking to be chased. They didn't sign up for this. Trying to paint, like, be sympathetic with them. The questioner, $5. The dollar is done. United States, United Shipping Gaping Mail of America is done in the future. Nonstop trade, $2 again. Cappy is too short to ever get his dreams crushed. Haunt New guy, $10 of work construction since graduation and thinking of architecture and engineering. Is it worth it despite how things are? Maybe minor in psychology and or medical. I have a lot of interest. No. Okay. Your minor doesn't matter. Choose whatever you want for fun. Architecture, you more or less got to get a doctorate, and it's one of the most regretted and worthless degrees there is. If you're going to do it, go into engineering. Now, if you're working construction and you want, look, I think you should just work construction for your money. And then on the side, study whatever you want, but don't go to school for it. Unless you're going to put so much time and effort into it that I would think, honestly, I'd go get a master's degree in psychology and then go open up your own online shop. Because there ain't going to be no fathers. We're not going to have nuclear families. We're going to keep worshiping at the state. The schools are still going to keep raising the children. So I don't see the need for therapists going away. And by the way, the current therapists, the vast majority of them, aren't going to solve the problems. No one gets better. They haven't made anyone mentally healthy. Well, okay, they might have made people mentally healthier, but they've cured no one. So but that I do on the side. Look, dude, I presume when you're making $30, $40 an hour, if I were to get added education in my field, I would probably look at construction management, maybe even like a degree in accounting with a minor in construction management. That's where I would go. But construction management with a minor in do that. Construction management with a minor in accounting. That would be very practical for you, but absolutely not architecture. Engineering, you're going to leave construction. You'll be adjacent to it maybe if you go like, say, materials engineering or mechanical engineering or structural engineering, but or civil engineering. You'll be adjacent to construction, but you won't be in construction. And no, there's no reason to study medicine unless you're going to become a nurse or a doctor. No. Psychology, there might be some money involved in that, but you'd have to, get licensed. Nonstop Dre, $2 again. I still never seen Die Hard or Casablanca. Well, what are you waiting for, Dre? I gotta imagine you have some free time. Go watch both of them. They're great. Nonstop Dre, $2. TFM seems way happier than men with a girlfriend. Right. I mean, there's another perfect example. He's gone and done his thing. Dr. Paradox, $5. My wife and her sister-in-law tell us to play video games when they're tired of being catcalled and pleased by us. No firearms, no problems in China. Yeah, until they lock you down. Being catcalled and pleased by us. Sounds like your wife and your sister-in-law have a good time. That sounds like you got the right relationship. Dre, again, $2. Go to Japan or South Korea. You'll love it. I think I will. I don't know if I want to live there, but I don't know. I just want to go where people aren't ugly. The questioner, $2. What advice you give to this schizophrenic man? None. I can't give advice to a schizophrenic man. You have to go get therapy. I mean, it's the same advice I give to a regular man. Get exercise, go live life. Don't screw up. My 5 rules. Causal Crack at $2. I spend my time shark diving and fossil hunting. Nice. Nonstop Dre, $2. Cappy likes women just like his dog's discipline. Yes, I do. Dr. Paradox, $5. The Brotherhood observation is absolutely correct. 95% of my super chats are donations to the Brotherhood. 5% short jokes are to join Dre and laugh at you. Yeah, it's either insults or to help out the Brotherhood. Yeah, and there's other ways you can do it. I think down the road there will be nonprofits created, like legit ones, though those might get corrupted. To help out men. I think there'll be male-only charities. I have some ideas, but I just don't have the time. Maybe I should start sharing some of these ideas for people who do have the time to pursue them. Because if the ideas go to the grave with me, there's no opportunity to do good. Nonstop Drake, $2. Cappy is too short to be let down by life and others. You got it. Evan I are $2. Sugar Ring's the way to go. Just find the right chick. I agree. You're gonna pay, and with paying for it financially, you're not paying any emotional or psychological costs, which you can't really put a price on because it's not a tangible thing. Look, at any point in time, girls can come to the side, hit the balls back, and we can fire this back up again like ye olden times. I don't think they want to. I don't even think they're on the court. I think they just put a cutout of them holding a tennis racket, and you guys keep hitting the ball thinking it's going to hit it, but no, they're long gone. But there are women who like, well, I'll transact this for money. I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine, and that's what it's always been. It's just that it was love if we put it through the filter of marriage. Oh, this is love. See, we made some vows to a guy in the sky and in front of some people. So now it's love. By the way, still pay for all of her shit, but that's barter. That's not prostitution. Prince Revolver, $2. By the way, Ghost has a great ending. Good. I have to finish it before I take off. Allie from Cali, $5. Very hard to stay motivated, disciplined, knowing that women are not interested in you. But you don't have a choice. Oh, Ali, not Allie. I was thinking Allison. Ali, I know, man. You're programmed that way. I get it. It's how you're hardwired. I guess maybe the truest act of a man today is for him to override his genetic programming and desire to want women with his knowledge and intelligence to accept that the reality is they don't want them. I think that's the truest, the most Herculean task of a man today is to override, I want to say this clearly, is to override his genetics with his knowledge. That's more simply put. And I get it, we're all there. But if you don't start making decisions based in reality, you're going to live a lot worse life. There's nothing worse than pining after girls that don't have any interest in you and you wasting your one precious life on this planet doing that. So, and always leave the door open for them. Always leave a line cast out in the water. But heed me and previous generations of men's wasting our time and experiences. We want you to have a better life. And please get the menu. Okay. For you, please get the menu because you need to understand they're just not on the menu. I know you want steak, but they're all out of steak and you're at the restaurant. You're only at this restaurant once. Please order something from the menu and enjoy it before you die. And yeah, motivated and disciplined. Well, you're not motivated. That's what motivated us. I mean, go get a world without men. If we don't get sex, sorry, here it is, brass tacks. We don't get laid. We don't have women in our lives. We shut down. And why should I? We don't need that much. There's a meme I put together. Oh my goodness. It's a great meme. Do you want to see how little men can get by on without women and children in our lives? Do you want to see how much production or how little production there is? Go get a world without men. An analysis of an all-female economy. Yeah, you're not going to be motivated, but you're liberated. You're free. Now you can do what you want. Alex Patino, a truck driving Latino agent in the field. $5. Exercise is a good reminder. If carrying too much weight, you won't be able to run from danger or look for food. Right. I haven't been able to get my cardio in all that well. Nonstop Dre, $2. The real question is, what isn't Cappy short of? Anger and rage. Anger and rage. All right, there we go. Shit. Speaking of the gym, I got so many. The internet was shit. Everyone was watching sports ball yesterday. I'm looking at I got a software that tests the pings. And I'm like, wow, this is crap. I can't. And now it's all backed up. So there you guys go. All right. Questions, answers, ASO Consulting. Take a look at those books. The Book of Numbers, Analyzing ROI in the Pursuit of Women. The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. And the most recent one, A World Without Men, Analysis of an All-Female Economy. Read those three, and I can never get you unaddicted to your desire for women, and nor would I really want to. But you can at least control it and put it in its place and not waste your life. You read those 3 books, I mean, you have to be pretty dense not to like, oh, put together. Oh, I see. Oh, well, I guess I got to do this now. It will take away some of the pain. Also take you a while to read through some of the books, but it'll take away a lot of the pain. All right, that's it. See you guys later. Toodles.